Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of November 7th. Eight of Cups wanting to pop out there on the bottom, but we're going to just jump right in here and see what is going on for you. In your current general energies, you have this full moon in Pisces, and you also have this new moon in Capricorn. It says forgive, and then it says step up and take the lead. I think that, obviously, if you're dealing with anything from the past, it is a great time for forgiveness and to kind of just let anything go. I'm not just talking about relationships here, by the way. I'm talking about pretty much everything. I feel like you're kind of like claiming your independence here with the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is the card of independence. It's also pre-Empress energy. So it looks to me like this is a glow up type of situation here, to say the least, here, Aquarius. So I do feel that there is some good stuff coming in for you in this reading, obviously. I also feel that there is a major focus on you increasing your abundance in this reading. So I like to see that, but you start off again with these two cards. So I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of like just taking the lead in your own life. And I'm wondering if some of you were kind of in a round-and-round situation with a person who breadcrumbed you or just, didn't give enough to a situation. You have the Six of Pentacles here in this reading, and you could have been married to this person. Some of you could be going through a divorce or separation. If not, I think you're just, it's more, whenever I get, let's just say this, whenever I get something like this right here, Empress to the Nine of Pentacles, to me, it says you finally understand your value. You understand your worth. And look, it gets even more intense than that, because you go down from the Empress, Four of Wands, to the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is kind of the embodiment of this energy at her highest vibration. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. This is just the energy that you're embracing in this reading. And what I would say here is that I feel I wouldn't even call this a glow up. I would call this more like a big confidence boost is what it feels like to me. It's like you finally have the confidence. And again, of course, a glow up could be part of that. Maybe you're making more money, dressing nicer with the Empress and stuff like that. But again, I don't think that's the intention here. Number one, that's probably not even your intention. It feels more like a side effect. Like, I feel like you're sitting there saying, okay, like if a glow up happens, great, I'll take it. But I think what I'm trying to spit out here, Aquarius, is you're doing things for yourself. And that's what the Nine of Pentacles really says to me. And I love this because I feel that it's boosting your confidence, making you feel good. I feel like it's putting you in this energy of gratitude. And whenever we get into the energy of gratitude, of course, we naturally attract like just more good things into our lives. And that's what this feels like to me. I feel like obviously your focus is going to be important. She is training her focus. She has this falcon on her hand there, and it kind of represents training your focus. I also feel like there's little things you can do here. You see this snail down here? The snail represents your home. And also beyond that, it represents your environment. I don't even know why I set an alarm, but there you go. So it represents your environment, like the things around you. And I always use the example of like when I come here to my office, I just hit one button right here. Everything turns on, right? Completely removes the friction from my workday. So, I'm ever since I started doing that, I started looking for other ways to remove friction in my life, because it just makes, cuts out time. It's like normally if I were to have to turn all this on, over a year, it's probably like hours and hours and hours of time. So just hitting one button removes friction. And I would say, like, how can you remove friction from your life with that Nine of Pentacles? You have the Seven of Cups. I kind of feel this is like a vision coming together. I almost see like a funnel in my head. It's like just funneling straight to my third eye. And I feel like this funnel is ideas and plans and kind of like things that you want to accomplish in your life. I'm also getting like, I feel like you're more honest, and I'm not suggesting that you're a liar here, Aquarius. I feel like you're just being more honest with yourself about what you want in your life. There's a certain sense of justice in the sense that you're bringing like order to your life, because you end with the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, it could be you in this reading, number one, but I also just get this sense of, he represents law and order, but I'm really just getting order, that's like what's popping into my head. With the Empress card, you have the Strength card. I feel like you've waited a long time for this. You've been working towards this probably, I don't know, your whole entire life. So there you go. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. So 2 9s here. To me, multiple nines, I would like to see one more. But what I would say is that multiple nines to me, I'm just looking to see if there are any other nines in the numbers or anything, but there aren't. But what I'd say is that nines to me kind of represent newness, especially when I get multiple nines. Some of you, I kind of feel the Nine of Wands is talking about like moments of hesitation, but it doesn't really feel like a big deal to me. And with the Seven of Cups, you have the Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty, but Ten of Cups is your happily ever after. So I feel for a lot of you, you're kind of like saying to yourself, what is my happily ever after? Is it having a family? Is it having a career? Is it having both? Is it starting a YouTube channel? Like, what is it for you? And it doesn't matter what it is for anyone else, right? It only matters what it is for you. And that's what this card is asking. And I feel like you need to focus on it. But at the same time, I mean, look, to the Ace of Wands, passionate new beginning, I feel a lot of you are kind of like on your way to some pretty big stuff. Let's put it that way. In the area of the unexpected, you have this Pegasus card. It says transcending. I feel you're kind of transcending illusions here. I feel you're seeing beyond the illusion, and you're kind of seeing, I get this like brass tacks kind of energy from your reading. I feel like you're just like seeing exactly what you need to do, and you're doing it. You also have this Mystic Meadows card. It says sanctuary on it. I kind of feel that some of you are protecting your time, and you're protecting your space, like your personal space, yourself, all that other stuff. And you're doing this so that, again, you can stay in this Empress and Nine of Pentacles energy. There's a little bit of love here, but honestly, I'm not suggesting that you avoid love. Of course not, especially if you want it. But I would protect your time, is what this is saying. And so if you don't have love as well, I feel like this is saying not a big deal, because, it's like you're in this energy. Whenever, I call this positive snowball energy whenever we have the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles together. So it's kind of like, do you really need a person to mess up your day? Probably not. So, unless you're, attracting a person who's super positive, then go for it. But, other than that, I would just say, if you're single, I feel this is perfectly fine. Although, you do have the Page of Pentacles. So you have the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. I do feel there is a little bit of unexpected energy here, in the sense that maybe a person you've been waiting for could be communicating with you. So if you have your eye on a person, they could be reaching out with communication. For others, I feel like saying that you didn't know you were waiting for this, just in general. So you could be attracting a person who you just didn't even know you were waiting for them, but they show up in your life. And like, for once, marriage. I've been getting this weird feeling that if you're attracting love at the end of this year, I kind of have this feeling that it could move very, very quickly. And, of course, I always suggest taking your time, not rushing into things. But at the same time, if it works, right? And I kind of get that feeling here with that Four of Wands. This could be like a person that you marry. Is it like totally mind-blowingly unexpected? I would say no. Again, this doesn't feel like, I'm not like caught by surprise by this, right? Is what I would say. But I do feel like, maybe the speed at which this builds, and also maybe your attraction to this person, like how quickly you're able to build attraction between each other. That could be the thing that is a little bit surprising. Definitely could be a fire sign or an earth sign stands out to me. Does anything else stand out to me? No, Virgo as well. Although I said earth, right? So could be earth or fire, but I feel like the speed at which attraction builds is kind of very impressive. For some reason, again, Four of Wands could be marriage. And again, if you're meeting a person unexpectedly, I do feel that this could move forward very quickly. But I'm just getting improvements on this card. Like, I feel for some of you that the month of November, I know that this is a weekly reading, but I feel the month of November is just a total improvement based off of the last, the entire year. So I feel this month is kind of like a little bit of a turning point for you, where things are getting better. There's a lot of improvements. I feel like you feel it as well. It's like you feel like you've crossed over something with that Four of Wands, and it's leading to like a new beginning with the Page of Pentacles. You're gonna have to learn a lot. I do feel like if I was being super picky about this row, it's not even popping into my head as like a challenge, but I feel there's a lot to learn about a new beginning. You have so many new beginning cards. Again, the 2 9s, Page of Pentacles, even the Four of Wands, card of completion, card of moving on to a new cycle, and you have the Ace of Wands, which is a brand spanking new beginning. So, but I feel like this new beginning is gonna like blow you away. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the King of Wands. Again, like I said, fire sign. Probably like fire with earth or earth with fire. Take it how it resonates. But, whatever. Wouldn't really surprise me. I feel like this person's very driven, very successful. Again, I feel like that's why there's attraction here. It just feels so different to me. I feel like this person's like a rebel as well. That might be how they attract you. Maybe they're like on a motorcycle, right? I feel like bad boy, bad girl type of vibe here. Doesn't matter what gender you're into. So there's something edgy about this person, but not in a bad way. I feel they're, just different. With the Four of Wands, you have the Devil. What was I going to say about this? I feel like you're walking away from devilish energy, something that controls you, something that you feel maybe you were stuck in as well. That Eight of Cups from the beginning of the reading is popping into my head. It's like, I feel like you're walking away from empty cups here, Aquarius. It's almost like I'm seeing the Eight of Cups in my head if I zone out for you. And it's like, I see those cups are just empty. It's like, even if I like stand over them and I look into them, there's nothing inside. Like I see a frog inside of one for some reason. Maybe this person was a frog or a toad. I have no clue. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Moon. Again, this is more of that funnel energy. A lot of people have been getting the moon, and I really feel it's Neptune and Pisces, and also Jupiter is retrograding back into Pisces, kind of expanding that energy. With Neptune and Pisces, it's like we dream very big with Neptune and Pisces, but it's like we need to funnel those dreams down to earth. We have to take the big idea, and we have to be able to break it down to like a tiny bite-sized piece, and that's where we get started. So, as I've been saying, I feel like people could be accomplishing more than ever over the next decade or so, but you have to like break it down to a tiny little piece, and you have to get started. You have to put in the work because, and again, I know people don't like that, but I mean, do nothing is what I say to those people, right? But if you're here in the pond, you're a winner. You're not a loser like that. So get to work because I know you're going to be successful, and that's all I care about is people, who want to be successful, being successful. There you go. Next in the area of what's coming towards you, you have all this card that says all that glitters, and you also have this round and round card. I feel for some of you that you've ended a cycle. Could be like a divorce or separation, like I said. Maybe you thought it was going to go one way with the all that glitters card and then the round and round card. I'm getting a bunch of stuff here, by the way, so I just want to say that. But with the round and round card, it's kind of like saying to me that it's just been a round and round and round situation. So I feel you could be ending something. I'm also getting that, again, this could be your dreams. And it could be a dream about anything. And I feel like that round and round card is saying, like, how much longer are you going to dream about it? And when are you going to start putting things into practice? You even have the Strength card, the Justice card, and the Queen of Wands. If we look at this right here, you have the Strength card, which is kind of like a daily practice. And then you have the Six of Pentacles, which is planting seeds, getting started on something. And everybody's like, you keep repeating yourself with the Six of Pentacles. I'm like, yeah, because like I just told you, Neptune and Pisces, it's like, this is what we need to do. The reason I preach this stuff so much is because, trust me, as a person who like has a billion ideas that I never get started on, it's like, but I've been getting started on them. It's like, this is not a do as I say, not as I do situation. I'm actually doing it. And, I would also say that I know how hard it is. Like, I know it's like not that easy to just get started. I know it's not that easy to know what your first step should be, but I'm here to tell you that your first step should be any step towards whatever this dream is. The Strength card, I feel this is something you've developed over a long time as well because, she is taming this lion. That lion kind of represents your inner beast, your inner critic, your inner voice, whatever you want to call it. And that lion is submitting to her. So she's getting it to listen to her. She's getting this lion to, kind of do her bidding, right? And I feel like you're taking control here. You have the Justice card as well. And again, there's some sort of law and order / balance element here. So something is coming into balance. Part of me feels that you're kind of, again, transcending illusion. And it's like you're seeing the actions that you need to take, which we said in the last row. Pretty heavy reading in a good way, is what I'm going to say. You have the Queen of Wands, which says you're very attractive at this time. So I feel you could be attracting things in your life very quickly. I'm also getting a specific message here that I feel like you've learned that for your own happiness, that you can't like live other people's lives. I feel this is a lesson that you've learned recently is that, is that if you're like making decisions based off of other people's judgments or their ideas or like what you're fearing they will believe about you or whatever, then I feel that this Queen of Wands is saying that you're realizing that you're not going to get anywhere if you have those beliefs. And it's like I feel like you're starting to become just extremely confident, like I said at the beginning of the reading, and definitely a good thing. With the Strength card, you have the Death card. Definitely a change, an ending to a negative cycle here of control as well, I would say. That devil could be anything. Could be a person, place, thing, a personal belief, like I said with that Strength card, right? And so what's transforming here is probably your beliefs about yourself. And again, even if I get a very independent vibe here from this reading, meaning I feel like it's all about you, this reading, in the best way possible. I don't really think it's about like anyone else, right? And even if that devil is another person, I feel like what you're letting go of and transforming has more to do with you than it does with them, if that makes sense. And again, it's a good thing, not a bad thing. With the Justice card, you have the Queen of Cups here. So for some of you, Queen of Cups, she really values her own decisions. Again, kind of like that Queen of Wands. Like, she's normally holding that cup out that looks, on a traditional Queen of Cups, it looks like a trophy. It's kind of something that she values above everything else. It's her heart, what her heart tells her to do. And so that's what I'd be doing with this Queen of Cups, whatever your heart tells you to do. With the Queen of Wands, you have the World, major accomplishment. I'm not surprised that this came up either, because I was kind of saying that I was getting completion energy on that Four of Wands, and here you go, the World, completion. So you could be wrapping something up or kind of like ending a cycle. At the end here, for messages from your future self, you have this Endings and Beginnings card. Clearly, there's a new beginning. You have this Tree card. It says stability and growth on it. So I feel you're becoming much, much more stable. Obviously, that's the whole point of this reading, is Nine of Pentacles. You're able to take care of yourself, and that's the whole point of the Nine of Pentacles. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the King of Swords. Six of Pentacles is like knowing where to put your energy. Six of Pentacles is cause and effect, just like the Justice card. I've been saying all year that, to me, the answer to 2022 and beyond, like until 2033, probably at least the next decade, is going to be cause and effect, meaning you put energy into something, and it's like, what do you get back? As long as you're paying attention to that, then you'll be very successful. You've definitely been through some sort of rite of passage or like a dark night of the soul. So I feel for some of you, you're kind of like overcoming some sort of challenge or difficulty with the Hermit. And so I like that. And finally, you have the King of Swords here. King of Swords is a card of you. I kind of feel like this is your energy. But again, I also get something here about kind of order and not the law part. Although some of you could definitely be going through a divorce. And if you are, I mean, I think it's just kind of going, as it would. It just like feels very general to me. But outside of that, I'm just kind of getting the order thing. Like, I think you're bringing order to your life. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Magician. And I feel that you're just manifesting new beginnings very quickly. I feel like people aren't going to recognize you after the transformation you go through. It's like they're going to be very surprised by what you are. For some of you, I'm wondering if you're like breaking generational curses or, whatever you want to call them. I personally don't necessarily believe in curses, but what I would say here is that, I feel for some of you, it's almost like, you're doing something that maybe people in your family have never done. Like maybe you're like moving away from the town that you grew up in. Maybe your whole entire family has always lived in that town. It's like that's what I mean by generational curse. It's not really curse. I feel like you're just breaking a pattern, right? That's maybe a better way to put it. And part of that is going to be this reinvention. I feel like it's a good thing though. With the Hermit, you have the Temperance card, turning one thing into another, a transformation. It's a card of alchemy. Kind of feel like you've learned how to work with energy or something to, create your own life. And with the King of Swords, you have the Tower. Definitely a shocking change. But this is not a bad tower. I feel like this is a good tower for you because, I feel like you're going through a significant change. Also, everyone has had the Tower again. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see more global tower moments. We're just going to see a bunch of them, as I've been saying, from now until 2033 or probably somewhere around there. So this is a freaking amazing reading. I love it. So we're going to pull 3 cards now. I'm going to answer one question, so feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your question. But 1, 2, 3, if you don't have a question, that's fine as well. I'm just going to put all the cards together at the end, and I'm going to answer them as like a general reading, or just a personalish reading. So pause now, because I'm going to start reading the cards if you need time to think. You have the Two of Cups, Six of Swords, and the Page of Wands here. You're trusting yourself, number one. Number one, if you're asking if you should move towards love, especially if it's with a fire sign, I would say yes. This is like soulmates to me. For others, I'm also getting something about a breakup here, but I feel like this person was a stepping stone soulmate. Like if you went through a breakup recently, Two of Cups, to me, sometimes can represent a stepping stone soulmate. Usually we feel very connected to a stepping stone soulmate, if I can talk today, because they just remind us of ourselves. How this is how you know it's a stepping stone soulmate. Is usually like, let's say you had money problems like 10 years ago. It's like you might meet a person who has very similar problems. So we usually connect with these people. It's not really a trauma bond, but it's kind of like they went through something or have been going through something that we went through a long time ago. They just usually come into our lives to remind us of that situation. And I definitely feel that some of you are maybe moving on and looking for something new after a stepping stone soulmate situation. For others, this to me says that you are moving towards true love. And again, if it's a fire sign, I would go for it. For others, I feel you're also, on top of all that, I feel you are clearly being guided by the universe. Two of Cups is you and your higher self. But I feel this is saying that you're being guided towards like a major, I wouldn't even call it a transition or a transformation. I would call it more reinvention. It's like you're reinventing yourself with that Magician. Super powerful reading. Definitely one of the more powerful ones I've done for you in a while. So love it. But thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.